The sun shone brightly over Chicago on that pivotal day in 1966, and the air was thick with excitement and hope. The march was organized to protest racial injustice and promote civil rights, drawing a diverse crowd of people ready to make their voices heard. Signs waved proudly, declaring messages of equality and unity, while the sound of chants echoed through the streets, urging change. As thousands gathered, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. Families, friends, and strangers came together, each holding on to a dream for a better future. People of all ages marched side by side, filled with determination. Some carried banners that read, "We shall overcome," while others clutched pamphlets educating on issues of discrimination. The sense of purpose was palpable. Everyone felt they were part of something larger than themselves. Among the crowd stood 16-year-old Raymond Fields. He watched from the sidelines, feeling a mix of excitement and uncertainty. Surrounded by passionate voices, he admired the bravery of those marching but couldn't shake the feeling that he didn't quite belong. His heart raced as he saw friends and family joining in, yet he remained hesitant, unsure if he was ready to step forward. The energy surged around him, and he longed to be part of it. Yet doubts clouded his mind. Would anyone notice if he joined? Did he have the courage to take that first step into the crowd? Little did Raymond know that at that very moment, someone was watching him, someone who understood those feelings all too well. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a beacon of hope and courage in the fight for civil rights, noticed Raymond's hesitation. With a warm smile and a gentle demeanor, he took a few steps toward the young boy, ready to offer encouragement where it was needed most. Raymond Fields was just a typical 16-year-old, navigating the complexities of adolescence while trying to find his place in the world. On that fateful day in Chicago, he wore a simple blue t-shirt and well-worn sneakers, feeling both anxious and hopeful as he stood off to the side of the bustling march. The lively chants and colorful banners caught his eye, but inside, he was gripped by feelings of uncertainty. Growing up in a neighborhood marked by division, Raymond had heard stories about the civil rights movement from his family and friends. He admired those who marched for equality, but often wondered if he could make a difference himself. As he watched demonstrators confidently join the throngs of people marching for justice, he felt a mix of inspiration and doubt. What if he didn't know what to say? Would anyone welcome him if he stepped forward? Despite his uncertainty, Raymond felt a tugging sense of duty deep within his heart. He knew that racial injustice affected the lives of many around him, including friends and family. He wanted to stand up and be counted among those fighting for change, yet the sheer size of the crowd made it hard for him to shake off his doubts. "What if I'm not brave enough?" he thought. As he lingered on the sidelines, Raymond observed smiling faces holding hands and lifting their voices in unity. Each cheer rang like music in his ears, a call to action he yearned to answer. He needed a sign that it was okay to step in, that it was okay to belong. Little did Raymond know that the very moment he struggled with whether to join would change everything for him. Dr. King's compassionate approach was about to offer him just that reassurance and encouragement he sought. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was not just a prominent leader, he was a symbol of hope and change for millions across America during the civil rights movement. Born in Atlanta, Georgia, he emerged as a powerful voice against racial injustice, advocating for equality through nonviolent protest. His commitment to peaceful demonstrations, inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, set him apart as a moral leader, and he became well known for his passionate speeches that stirred the hearts of many. At the 1966 march in Chicago, Dr. King's presence was particularly significant. This event was part of a larger struggle to address housing discrimination and promote fair treatment for African Americans in urban areas. By participating, Dr. King showed that the fight for civil rights extended beyond the South, emphasizing that injustices existed everywhere, including in the North. His involvement drew attention not only from the local community but also from national media, shining a light on the urgent need for change. For young people like Raymond Fields, seeing Dr. King in person was inspiring. He personified courage and conviction, embodying the very spirit of justice that many longed to fight for. As Raymond stood at the edge of the crowd, he could feel the powerful energy surrounding Dr. King, a mix of respect, admiration, and hope. The fact that such a respected leader chose to march for equality reminded everyone that their voices mattered. Dr. King's presence offered reassurance and encouragement to those who felt unsure about taking action. In many ways, he made it clear that standing up for what is right was not only important but also necessary. For Raymond and countless others, this was more than just a march. It was a call to join a movement that sought to create a better world for everyone, regardless of their skin color. As Raymond stood on the sidelines, he was engulfed in a whirlwind of emotions. The energy of the march pulsed around him, yet he felt like an outsider looking in. He watched as people around him embraced their beliefs with enthusiasm, holding signs and chanting slogans that echoed his own hopes for justice. But each cheer and rallying call only deepened his sense of isolation. "What if I don't know what to do?" he questioned silently. The faces of those marching radiated determination. They seemed to know their purpose, while Raymond felt lost in a sea of conviction. He longed to be part of the movement but feared stepping into the crowd would expose his insecurities. Would anyone accept him? Would they see through his uncertainty? These thoughts raced through his mind, creating a barrier that kept him rooted in place. As he glanced at familiar faces among the marchers, friends who looked empowered and fearless, Raymond's heart sank. How could he ever match their bravery? Each beat echoed with doubt, whispering that perhaps he wasn't strong enough or committed enough to join them. The more he hesitated, the heavier his feet felt, as if they were stuck to the ground. Yet amidst this turmoil, a small voice inside him urged him forward, reminding him of what was at stake, the fight for equality not just for himself but for everyone affected by injustice. He recalled stories shared by family members about their struggles and dreams for a fairer world. They had sacrificed so much just to have a chance. In that moment of internal conflict, Raymond realized he wanted to stand up and be counted. But first, he needed reassurance. He needed someone to affirm that it was okay for him to take that step into the unknown. Little did he know that Dr. King had already noticed his struggle and was preparing to offer just that encouragement. As Raymond stood there, wrestling with his thoughts, he suddenly felt a shift in the air. The crowd surged with energy, and for a brief moment, he lost sight of everything but the hopeful chants that filled the space around him. Just then, he noticed a familiar figure moving through the sea of faces, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. himself, captured in the moment as he engaged with marchers and supporters. Then, to Raymond's astonishment, Dr. King walked straight toward him. Time seemed to slow as the renowned leader approached with a warm smile that radiated kindness and understanding. Raymond's heart raced. This was Dr. King, a man whose words had inspired so many, someone he had only seen on television or read about in books. "Will you walk with me?" Dr. King asked gently, his voice calm and inviting. Those few words held an immense power that cut through Raymond's feelings of doubt and isolation. In that moment, it felt as if Dr. King understood everything Raymond had been grappling with. The fear of not fitting in and the longing to be part of something greater. Raymond looked up into Dr. King's eyes, searching for any hint of judgment or expectation, but instead found warmth and encouragement. It was as if the weight of his fears was lifted away by the simple act of being invited to join this historic march. With a deep breath, Raymond nodded and took a step forward beside Dr. King. As they began to walk together, he felt a wave of belonging wash over him. For the first time that day, he realized he wasn't alone. He was part of something larger than himself. The kindness in Dr. King's gesture transformed his uncertainty into courage as they walked side by side toward equality and justice, marking the beginning of Raymond's journey toward activism and advocacy. The invitation to walk with Dr. King transformed Raymond Fields in ways he had never imagined. As they marched side by side, the burdens of self-doubt and uncertainty began to lift. Each step with Dr. King felt like a step toward confidence and purpose. Raymond realized that activism wasn't just for those who appeared strong and fearless. It was for anyone willing to stand for what is right, including himself. With every chant they joined in, Raymond felt a growing sense of connection not only to Dr. King but also to the people around him. He began to understand that the march was not just an event, It was a community of individuals united in a shared belief in justice and equality. The warmth of that community enveloped him like a comforting embrace, igniting a passion within him to fight against injustice. Raymond's perspective shifted dramatically. No longer did he see himself as an outsider. He recognized that his voice mattered and that he had a role to play. The encouragement from Dr. King instilled in him the belief that even one young person can make a difference. He felt empowered, not just to speak out for himself but also to be a voice for others who were afraid or reluctant to join the struggle. As the march progressed, Raymond transformed from a hesitant observer into an active participant, fully engaged in the fight for civil rights. The kindness shown by Dr. King served as the catalyst for this change. It taught him that empathy and encouragement can have a profound impact on others' lives. Inspired by this moment, Raymond promised himself that he would carry this lesson forward, sharing his experience and the importance of community support with others for years to come. In embracing this newfound identity as an advocate for equality, Raymond knew he was ready to contribute meaningfully to the ongoing fight against racial injustice. The moment Raymond Fields walked alongside Dr. King at the march forever altered the course of his life. In the years that followed, he carried the lessons from that day deep within his heart. The encouragement and warmth he received sparked a fire within him, motivating Raymond to become an advocate for justice, not just for himself but for others who felt marginalized or voiceless. Raymond's newfound identity as an activist influenced his choices and actions throughout his life. He joined student organizations focused on civil rights, where he organized discussions and events aimed at raising awareness about social issues in his community. His experience at the march taught him that even small actions could create ripples of change, so he dedicated himself to making a difference in every way he could. As he grew older, Raymond became known in his neighborhood as someone who stood up against inequality. He participated in community meetings, addressing issues like affordable housing and educational opportunities for all children. Inspired by Dr. King's teachings of nonviolence and peaceful protest, Raymond led initiatives that brought people together to discuss their hopes and challenges. When he shared his story about the day he walked with Dr. King, listeners were captivated. Raymond often emphasized how a simple act of kindness could inspire courage in others and encourage them to find their voices. Many young people looked up to him as a mentor, seeking advice on how to engage with their communities and advocate for change. Ultimately, the impact of that fateful moment extended beyond Raymond's personal journey. It became a legacy of hope and empowerment for future generations. He understood that each person has the potential to make a difference, reminding everyone he met that standing up for justice is not just a responsibility, but also an opportunity to create a better world for all. As the years passed, Raymond Fields understood that the story of his encounter with Dr. King was more than just a cherished memory. It was a powerful lesson he felt compelled to share. He often gathered with family and friends, eagerly recounting the day when he stood at the edge of the march, overwhelmed by self-doubt, until Dr. King's gentle invitation changed everything for him. Through storytelling, he could illustrate the importance of courage, community, and support in facing challenges. Raymond visited local schools and community centers to share his experience with young people. He wanted them to know that feeling unsure was normal but that taking action could lead to incredible personal growth. In every speech, he emphasized how Dr. King's kindness transformed him from a hesitant observer into an engaged advocate for justice. These moments resonated deeply with those who listened, as they could see themselves in Raymond's journey. During family gatherings, Raymond would weave his story into discussions about current events or social issues. He'd encourage his children and their cousins to reflect on their own experiences and to think about how they could be part of creating positive change in their communities. His story became a bridge for conversations about empathy, responsibility, and standing up for what is right. Raymond also shared his experience one-on-one with neighbors and friends who were struggling to find their own voices in activism. He reminded them that change begins with small steps and that even one moment of compassion could inspire someone else, a lesson he learned directly from Dr. King. Over time, Raymond's story became a source of motivation not only for himself but for countless others as well. It inspired them to take action against injustice and believe in their ability to make a difference. For Raymond, passing down this story was essential. It reinforced his identity as an advocate and ensured that the legacy of kindness and courage he received would continue to inspire future generations in their fight for equality and justice. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy is etched into the lives of countless individuals, including Raymond Fields. His simple yet profound act of kindness, a gentle invitation to join him in the march, opened a door for Raymond that would change his life forever. This moment not only inspired Raymond but also served as a powerful reminder of the impact one person can have on another's journey. Dr. King's leadership and vision for equality resonated deeply, empowering Raymond to embrace his own voice in the fight for justice. The significance of their shared experience extends beyond personal transformation. It highlights the interconnectedness of each individual's contributions to the broader movement for civil rights. Dr. King's belief in nonviolence and his emphasis on compassion encouraged many to take action, fostering a spirit of solidarity among those who felt marginalized or unheard. This collective effort became essential in challenging systemic injustices and striving toward a more equitable society. Raymond, like many others influenced by Dr. King's teachings, learned that activism is not solely about grand gestures. It often begins with small acts of courage and empathy. The ripple effects of Dr. King's approach reverberated through communities as individuals stepped forward to advocate for change, sharing their stories, rallying together, and uplifting each other. As Raymond passed down his story, he ensured that the lessons he learned from Dr. King would continue to inspire future generations. His narrative became a testament to the power of unity and the importance of standing up against injustice, reminding others that they too have a role in shaping a better world. In every heart that carries forward Dr. King's message of hope and justice, his legacy thrives. The connections built through shared experiences create a lasting impact, ensuring that the fight for equality endures as a collective effort fueled by kindness, understanding, and unwavering determination. As we reflect on the powerful journey of Raymond Fields and his encounter with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., it becomes clear that connection and support play crucial roles in moments of uncertainty. In life, we often find ourselves standing at crossroads, grappling with doubt and fear about our ability to make a difference. In such times, a simple act of kindness or a few words of encouragement can light the way forward, as it did for Raymond when Dr. King approached him. Each of us has experienced moments where support made all the difference, times when someone believed in us even when we struggled to believe in ourselves. Whether it's a friend encouraging us to speak up, a teacher fostering our potential, or a family member cheering us on, these connections empower us to take bold steps toward our goals and aspirations. Raymond's story serves as a reminder that no matter how alone we may feel facing challenges, there are always opportunities for connection and understanding within our communities. When we open ourselves to the possibility of reaching out or accepting help from others, we not only strengthen our own resolve but also deepen the bonds that unite us. In sharing his story with others, Raymond inspired countless individuals to recognize their collective strength in advocating for justice and equality. He taught them that they could step into their own power through acts of solidarity, allowing themselves and those around them to grow and thrive. So as you move forward in your own journeys, consider the moments you've felt supported, reflect on the kindness extended by others and how it influenced your path. Recognize your capacity to offer such support to others in need. Together, we can create spaces where everyone feels encouraged to rise above their doubts and become active participants in the ongoing fight for a just world, ensuring that kindness continues to shape generations yet to come.